The midseason report card for every NBA team. This was from yesterday. Let's go through it. Let's discuss it. I'm interested to see where some teams land. I'm interested to see, do they add context into this, or is it just, hey, we thought you'd be better than this. Yeah, you're dealing with X, Y, and Z. Doesn't matter. You know, it's a report card. Teacher, I know I fucked up the test, but I didn't get any sleep. I've been dealing with a stomach flu. Doesn't matter. You failed the test. Let's see. Atlanta Hawks, B+. Quarter season grade is a B. Oh, okay. B+ for the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah. They've had a good season so far. Locked On Heat speculated they don't want him playing away games, so he can't speak to the media, so he might just play at home. That's interesting. That's interesting. Hawks 500 right now. I feel like that's kind of around what we thought their ceiling could be. Trey's leading the league in assists. Jalen Johnson hurt his shoulder last night. Was there an update on that? Jalen Johnson has been great. Dyson Daniels obviously has been a revelation for them defensively. I think if you're a Hawks fan, you're excited about this. You're just excited you're out of the Trae Young, DeJounte Murray business. Your team's just a lot more fun and exciting. Brooklyn Nets, B+. 14-31. I would agree. They're 1-9 in their last 10 games, but they're trying to lose now. They're actively trying to lose. You've already kind of seen it. We saw over the first couple months, hey, Jordy Fernandez knows his shit. This team plays hard for him. They play good basketball for him. Grady Dick getting broken right here. The dick is broken. Tough picture. Tough picture for our guy. The Butler situation is so embarrassing. Yeah, I agree. It is embarrassing. Boston Celtics at a B, and that's dropped. Their quarter season grade was an A. They're a B right now. It's so weird to say for a team that's 31-14. So weird to say that I feel like they should even be lower than this. Like a C. I think the Celtics, compared to their preseason expectations, are probably like in C+ territory. It's not the end of the world. The sky's not falling. We're not, the 6th seed. But there's been enough bad play recently. Mediocre play, I guess I should say, compared. Well, yeah, mediocre pretty much. They're damn near a 500 team over the last 20 games. 20 games is a quarter of the season. Enough mediocre play that you're like, all right, what's going on here exactly? Like, are they just fucking around? Are they just coasting? Or is there some, serious concerns here? Drew Holiday shooting 10 percentage points worse from 3. Derek White's can't buy a fucking 3-pointer over the last month or so. Jaylen Brown's 30% from 3. Tatum can't hit a 3 to save his life lately. The anomaly. We have a negative net rating when KP, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum are on the court together. What's going on? I'd put them at a C, personally. Hornets C-. They've just dealt with so many injuries. And I 11-29. Fortunately, this was the year before the season started that I said I'm not putting the Hornets in the play-in tournament. Sneaky. They'll have an all-star, though. That's fun. They beat the Mavs, so good for them. Chicago Bulls C-. Yeah. This feels about right. It's been a little bit of a disappointing season for them. The Hornets need Zion. I don't like Zion there. Cleveland Cavaliers A+++++++. 6 games up on the Celtics, man. 6 games up. 36-7. Lost that crazy game. That crazy game to the Rockets a few nights ago. That shit was crazy. I can't believe Darius Garland sold like that. He was shaking in his boots. Are the Bulls not trading Levine and Vooch? I guess we'll see. Mavericks had a B. They had us at a B plus at the quarter season grade. Okay. What would you guys give the Mavericks? (24 and 21). C, B. Yeah. This kind of feels about right. I'd maybe say C plus. I don't know, though. They're 24 and 21. And look, every outsider has said the same thing. They'll be fine. They'll be fine when they're healthy. Now, the problem is Derek Lively's going to miss a lot of time. 7 and 11 since the last time they did this. Dallas can breathe easy knowing its overall season vitals are pretty good. It has a top 10 offense and defense. That's true. It's still top 10 offensively and defensively. So, it's been difficult, but they're stringing you along. They'll lose a game that feels impossible to lose and then beat the Thunder twice in the span of a week. And you're like, okay, hold on. There's still something there. You don't beat a team like the Thunder, even with all of the Thunder's absences. They're still winning a lot of games, the Thunder are. A for effort? Hell yeah. Denver Nuggets B. All right, I'll push back on this. I think they should be higher. I'd give the Nuggets maybe an A minus. Oh, well, this compared to their quarter season grade, that was a D. All right, so maybe if they're just basing this off of where they were last time. But I feel like a lot of the swing factors for the Nuggets are starting to go their direction. You know, Russell Westbrook's been great. Christian Brown really has been solid. Jokic is playing at an unbelievable level. Jamal Murray has seen a few good performances here and there lately. Yeah, 15 and 3 over their last 18 games. Pretty incredible. Detroit Pistons, A minus. What's preventing the Pistons from just being an A plus? Maybe Jaden Ivey's injury. I mean, this is about as good as you could get for the Pistons. They're the 6th seed. They're 23 and 21. Cade's gonna make an All-Star game. It just feels like if you told a Pistons fan that before the season, hey, how about halfway through the season, 23 and 21, Cade's making the All-Star game, they'd be like, dude, this is incredible. This is best case scenario. It does suck, Jaden Ivey's leg injury, though, because he was having a great season to start. That's the one. Golden State Warriors, D+. My God, they have just fallen off so badly. It's hard to believe the start that they had, which always felt a little fluky. That start always felt a tiny bit fluke-like, but not to this level. Power of friendship, 12-man bench ball was never sustainable. Well, Buddy Hield shooting 50% from three. So funny. Everyone was saying, yeah, Buddy Hield's playing well, but this is how it always goes. Warriors fans, be ready. And they were all like, no, this is different this time. No, it never works. But it just might work for us. So annoyed how they're trying to delude themselves into thinking they're contenders. They have been without Jonathan Kuminga, which has hurt them. I'm just so interested by their overall approach to the trade deadline. It's like, yeah, we don't need a trade. So weird to me. Not like, it makes some sense for players on the roster just to be like, hey, I don't know. Like, I'm not the GM. We like the guys we have. But it's another thing to openly just be like, no, we don't want to trade. Houston Rockets A. Yeah, it's been great for them. 2nd seed in the West. Unbelievable. Realistically, what's preventing them from being an A+? I guess A+ would be like, hey, Jalen Green is absolutely the guy. We're good. I guess maybe that would put them in A+ tier. 29-14, 6.5 games up, or 6.5 games behind the Thunder. 2 seed. Unreal. Pacers at a B. Their quarter season grade was D-. Yeah, the Pacers have turned it around quite a bit. It's been their defense. 24-20 now. I was watching the Paris games yesterday. It was on NBA TV. Why would that game not be on ESPN? Like, I really don't understand that at all. Like, what's the point of doing the Paris games? This big event, Wemby's overseas, Wemby's at his hometown. Why is that game not on one of your major broadcasting networks? I don't count NBA TV, especially if you're not doing a specific broadcast. Like, they just brought in the Pacers broadcast. That's just stupid. It makes no sense to me. Like, that should be on ESPN. Should be on TNT. Like, that should be a whole thing. It makes no sense. But anyways, the Pacers broadcast team, man, they were a tough listen yesterday. The Spurs were going crazy in the third quarter, 3 after 3. And granted, most of them were good shots, mind you. And the Pacers broadcast team was like, this is good for the Pacers. The Spurs, they're not going to keep making these. This is a good sign for the Pacers. They're down by like 18 points. Devin Vassell hit a wide open transition 3. Their broadcast team goes, no, actually, this is a good news for the Pacers. They're in good shape. I'm like, dude, you guys are down 18 in the third quarter. But anyways, good stuff for the Pacers. They are playing much better. How about my guy Jarris Walker, huh? Los Angeles Clippers A+. 25-19, 6 seed currently in the Western Conference, a game and a half up on the 7-seeded Dallas Mavericks. So if you're going to give the Clippers an A+, I kind of feel like you have to give the Rockets an A+. Right? But yes, the Clippers have been really good. And now Kawhi's back. Yeah, of course, this is the January curse with the Clippers, where you start to talk yourself into some things. It's like, well, if Kawhi's back and like playing and healthy, and Norm Powell's playing like an all-star, James Harden's playing like an all-star, you've got a bunch of athletes and defensive players. You know, that's usually what happens with the Clippers. But they have had a great season so far. Lakers C+. This feels harsh. They're the 5 seed in the West. Not a little harsh? They have been very healthy, and a lot of their vitals, a lot of their under the hood numbers show that they are probably not anywhere near as good as their record shows. Despite ups and downs on both ends of the floor, it has won many of those games it should, excelling at home and losing just once to an opponent below 500. That's what good teams do, to be fair. The Lakers' outlook gets murkier when looking at the entire picture. They have the worst record among West playoff squads against 500 or better, are 24th in net rating on the road, and plays 20th in Basketball Reference's simple rating system. Interesting. Okay. They don't beat good teams. I mean, still, all that considered, is C+ not a little harsh? Like, weren't their expectations going into the season a 500 team? That was what, like, almost everybody expected them to be. Was that not what their over-under was? Grizzlies at A. I just don't. So the Clippers are an A+. What is preventing the Grizzlies from being an A+? I don't really get it. Top 5, both offense and defense. That's actually crazy. G.G. Jackson's back. Yep. Going to an A+ is reasonable under the circumstances. Desmond Bane is trending upward, and Jaren Jackson Jr. functional expansion remains divine, even amid shakier efficiency. But there remains a house of cards feeling to the offense. That's really it. You're only saying harsh because the standings say 5 seed? Okay, no. Okay. What was their NBA preseason win totals. Let's see. What was their preseason win total? Wasn't it around 500? They were projected to win like 41 games. 42 and a half wins. They were projected to be just above 500. They're 24 and 18. This website is also projecting based on underlying stats. Yeah, I get that. Miami Heat being a C. 21 and 22. The Jimmy Butler saga. Tyler Hero has been great. I mean, that's a huge plus for you. But yes, Bam Adebayo's disappointing season would be the story of the year for them if it were not for this Jimmy Butler fiasco. Milwaukee Bucks B. That feels about fair. Where makes the Heat a B minus? I don't think the Heat could be anything other than a C, all things considered. Your best player throwing a fucking fit and tantrum like this, and you eventually probably having to trade him for like 50 cents on the dollar. No way you can get higher than a C. What up, Bretna? Timberwolves D+. Yeah, feels right. Interesting. Like you compare them to the Mavs. You know, Timberwolves 23 and 21, Mavs 24 and 21. Who wrote this? Shout out to him. Whoever wrote this, shout out to him. This is what I've been saying. There's a big difference between the Timberwolves vibes being stinky as fuck and them being healthy. And there not really being a lot of like encouraging signs versus the Mavs where it's like, hey, when this team's healthy, we know they're great. And they just got to get healthy. Would you trade D-Live for Bam? I'm not answering that question. New Orleans Pelicans C-. They've gone up a little bit. Props to them. 7-3 in their last 10 with a 4-game winning streak. Knicks at a B. That feels around fair. 29 and 16, but it's kind of been uneasy at times. They have the same contract, yes, but Bam makes so much more money. Yeah, Bam's contract is spooky for sure. I guess you're not concerned about the Knicks. Who are your top 5 most disappointing players this year? I don't know. Bam's definitely on that list, though. Thunder at an A. Their quarter season grade was an A-. 68 win pace, A. Okay. I think I kind of agree with them not being an A+. Which I know it sounds crazy and contradictory to what I've been saying, but we knew they'd be a great team. And there's still some stuff. Like Chet and Hartenstein not playing a lot together. Sucks. There's still some stuff offensively for them where it's like, damn. In the playoffs, that's going to be a problem. But we did the same exact stuff with the Celtics last year. After every loss they had, I was like, that's going to kill them in the playoffs. Orlando Magic. B+, feels right. 23 and 23, 500, 2 and 8 in their last 10, lost 5 in a row, but been dealing with so many injuries. Yeah, their offense has been concerning, even when guys have played at times. So okay, I'm sorry. Is there no Fs? I mean, the Sixers have to have an F. They have to. There's no world where the Sixers are not an F. I don't give a shit. Like, even the one beacon of hope that the Sixers had was, well, Jared McCain, it looks like we had a home run on that. He's out for the season now. So they have to be an F. The one thing that kept you going is now out for the rest of the year. And your team is built to win right now. I mean, you gave an old-ass Paul George a giant contract. He's been terrible. Joel Embiid, who knows how many fucking years he has left, genuinely. I know that sounds shitty to say, but call a spade a spade. And you're like at real risk of not even making the play-in tournament. Phoenix Suns F+. Oh, my God. Wait, so how do the Suns, which I don't mind this, how do the Suns get an F+, but the Sixers don't? I don't mind the Suns getting an F. I think it's hilarious. Clinging to the bottom of the play-in territory is a failure of epic proportions by the Phoenix Suns. I do kind of agree. If you're a team that goes all in and this is the state of your team, you failed. Straight up. You can use the power of hindsight. You can use all of this hindsight GMing. You failed. And we'll see. Getting Jimmy Butler will make them better for sure. They are 7-3 in their last 10. Nick Richards will help them. It feels like their schedule's been really weird. Who have they beat over the last 10? We looked at this recently. They beat the Nets, the Pistons, good team, Wizards, Hornets, Jazz, Hawks, and the lowly Sixers. Jesus, what is that fucking schedule? I mean, what is that schedule? Sixers, Hornets, Hawks, Jazz, Hornets, Hawks, Wizards, Pistons, Cavs, Nets. With the Wizards coming up tomorrow night. How is that even possible to have a stretch like that in the Western Conference? I know we joke a lot, but Luka really did it. The Suns. Trailblazers C, it's fine. Kings B-. They're working their way up. The vibes are good. They got their asses handed to them last night. They're kind of similar. Well, you know what? I was going to say they're kind of similar to the Suns. They're on this like schedule stretch, but not to that extreme. They've beaten the Rockets. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Celtics. They beat the Grizzlies. They beat the Mavs, but Mavs had absolutely no one. The Grizzlies didn't have, if memory serves correctly, the Grizzlies didn't have John Morant. And their 2 losses over their last recent stretch. They're 2 of their only losses. Bucks, no real shame there. Bucks have been playing really well on the road. And then Denver on the road. Spurs C+. Okay. Feels a little harsh. No? 20-22. Wemby's playing incredible basketball. I don't know. I feel like I'd put them at like a B-. They've been exactly kind of what you expected. Raptors C, all right. Considering context, the only quality win in that stretch was Houston. Yeah, that's true. But they're still winning though. Jazz C, that's fine. Wizards C-, fine. It feels good to finally have real. It feels like it's been a while since we've had real dregs this early in the season. With the play-in tournament and stuff has led to teams deciding to tank later than usual. But the Wizards, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Nets, the Jazz. I mean, these teams are really fucking going for it. Props to them.